you great looking bastards out there. Glad you made it. It's another so-so episode. Welcome back, boys and girls, ladies and gents. We're about to do it. It's on, what is it, Wednesday, January the 18th, 2023. Hell yeah, dude. Ladies, gents, we're doing it. We're kicking butt wherever you are. If you're joining me, if it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Instagram, YouTube, patreon.com/RobSadri. If you've been with me for some time, sending all the love right back to you. Thank you for all the love and support. Thank you for allowing me in your headspace. Thank you for being inside my head. Thank you for the connectivity. Thank you for the connections. And that's what we do around here. We're all about connections, bringing the personal, fusing it with the not so personal, the stuff that's the stuff that's not related to us, but somewhat related to us, because we're all connected in this day and age. And it's a wonderful day to be alive. It's hump day out there. So if you're getting it on, I'm glad somebody out there is between the two, however many between us, I'm glad somebody is out there. So it is hump day, but that's got nothing to do with us, not me anyway. Point is, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have some fun today. It's about to get messy. It's about to get, it can go in any direction. Which direction? Any direction. To the east, to the west, to the north, to the south. Well, wherever you are signing in, checking in with us, tuning in. Thank you. We appreciate you right here. And we're just a growing little snow. We started off with literally one snowflake. And then we grabbed onto other snowflakes. Next thing you know, we became a little teeny tiny, a pebble of a snowball, if you will. And we are steamrolling down a hill. And it's a hill, it's a valley, there's ups and downs to it, and that's the ups and downs of life, baby. So thank you for joining me, allowing me to be here with you guys and gals. I appreciate you out there. What am I wanting to talk about with you guys today? Let's just get right into it. Let's go we're about to go knee deep in this shit. We're about to go knee deep in this shit. Why? What am I even talking about? It is the annual Davos, Switzerland, Davos meeting of the World Economic Forum, the WEF, World Economic, or, I've tried to, World Eco, it could be other acronyms that you could, Whirl, it's spiral and whirl, Eco, resonation of sound, Gnomic, it's got to do with gnomes, garden gnomes, folklore, forearms, World Economic Forearms, or forms, things you might fill in. I don't know what it's all about, but I wanted to that's why we go knee deep in this shit, just to dissect it all. What is World Economic Forms? Some say it's World Economic Forum. I don't know what it is. Don't really care in the sense that I don't really, I do, but I don't. But it's one of those things where I feel like I should a little bit, but I should know what it is and what they're about. But, not that it's and that's what it is. I don't claim to know anything. I just want to have fun with the idea, with the topic. And that's why when there are red lines, when there's yellow tape telling us not to go ahead and enter, we lift that yellow tape. We step right into the scene of the evidence. Yes, did we tamper with evidence? No. Did we take precautionary measures as to how we're going to enter this? No, not at all. Does it, impact the crime scene? There's no crime here. What are we even talking about? Well, it's about to get nasty. I don't even know where it's going to go today. It's about to be World Economic Forum Day. Today is going to be just an hour about me just trying to get into the mindset of what it is to be a World Economic Forum world. What even is it? Let's go over maybe the what, who, when, where, why, how, or not. I don't even know where to begin, really. Let's just grab a sip of this. It's going to be a bumpy ride today. Who runs it? Like, one of the main members who runs it is Klaus Schwab. And in order to get to know what it's like to be Klaus Schwab, I went method with it. I got in his head. I became Klaus Schwab. I am now Klaus Schwab, and this is, let me just, excuse me. Get into the zone, baby. We're about to take off. I'm Klaus Schwab. And the world is a very, very scary place. Children is a very, very serious problems. I'm Klaus Schwab. Yes. As the world is facing multiple crises. I'm Klaus Schwab. Be very, very scared of the 2023 year and the years coming. I'm Klaus Schwab. I'm Klaus Schwab, and you need to be very, very, very scary. Very scary. 2024, 2025, scary. What is there to be scared about? I'm Klaus Schwab. And you are to be afraid of the weather. The climate is scary, yeah. The climate, be afraid of the climate. Be afraid, be very, very afraid of everything. As I'm Klaus Schwab. And that's what I did. I got into his head. I'm like, okay, in order to be this person, you got to like, what are they about? You need to be, you need to become this person. So I went ahead and became Klaus Schwab. And you know, what is the World Economic Forum? It is a, you know, it's a walking oxymoron. It's a walking, talking oxymoron of a juxtaposition, if you will, because you know, who can get into the World Economic Forum? Who's it? You know, you need to. It's for, you know, it's for certain people, and it's not for others. It's just like anything else out there. Think of it as a club, as an open closed club, seemingly open but relatively closed. That's the way we like it. As a member of the, because I had to go in. I joined the World Economic Forum. How? Easy, dude, easy, ladies. And you want to be involved with the influencers of politics beyond national borders and jurisdictions and laws. You want to be a player. All you have to do is, like, you know, fork out a little bit of money. If you're a politician, you get in for free. If you're a politician, you get in for free. But let's say you're a businessman. I'm an international businessman myself with millions and millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions, billions of dollars. In fact, that's right. You wouldn't notice it looking at me, would you? There you go, judging an old book by its old cover. And you're not wrong. Or are you? Oh, there you go, judging again, without even flipping the, what does it say on the first page of the book? Maybe, you know, flip through the book, have a couple of reads of a couple of pages in the middle of the book, go to the back of the book, read the end, just to get a, you know, at least an idea, because it's just judging by a book by its cover. Also, good artwork sells a lot of things. Books, CDs, they don't make those anymore, but like albums in general, good covers. I'll opt for, you know, one of my favorite things that we normally don't use anymore, matchstick boxes. I'll get the one that's got the cool artwork on it, you know what I'm talking about? But that's just, you know, you're judging a book by its cover. And I'm an international business. So what I did to get in, you know, could other people get in? No, bums off the street just can't get in. Regular working class blue collar can't get in. This isn't about you. This isn't about regular people. We like, that's what it is. So I needed to know, like, what kind of event am I going to? So I gave a lot of money. And I'm willing to give, like, I'll give even more. Why? Because I'm a businessman. A multi-millionaire, billionaire, I'm a businessman, god damn it. and I got my interests at heart. No, don't say that part out loud. I got your interests at heart, the average folks, but we don't let any average folks in these meetings. That's right, because we don't, because that's what it is, because the average folk need to be very, very scared. 2023, remember that, and so much more, and just, some people say, what is it? Some people say it's an exclusive club that, or of sorts, exclusive in some sorts. It's not like the hardest thing to get into, but it is relatively hard. How hard? There's a lot of security, a lot of like paid security guard. I'm talking, because that's what, when I, as a businessman, looking out for the average folks, I need to make sure I get into buildings and facilities where there are no, if there are any reporters, it's my reporters. I bring in my own crew. I get the story out the way I like, because I'm a businessman. God damn it. I'm not gonna just let anybody in, ask any old question, because I'm the World Economic Forum guy. I'm the new world. No, I'm becoming the new. I am. You get into it. Get it. You believe. You get into it. You really are. I am the World Economic Forum. I'm just it. I'm the entity of it. I did become it over the weekend. And I host this thing annually. It's here's what it is. Here's what it is. You need to have a lot of money, or be willing to give a lot of money. Be willing to take a lot of money. Be willing to ask for. You necessarily can go in with little money, but like if you ask for it, like if you got a good thing. You got a good thing that people, and it's generic enough so that we could like essentially like just money laundering, because it's a lot of like, I'd love to launder money as a businessman, as a filthy, grand businessman. I'm filthy rich. I'm filthy fucking rich, dude. And I get into, and there's no problem with, here's the a little bit of the juxtapose, going into a little by little, teeny tiny step at a time. I have absolutely no qualms with rich people. I love rich people. Not one myself. I aspire to be one day, hopefully, when I, not so for the sake of the money, but for the sake of whatever else everybody else seems to find, good about money. Security, essentially. That's what it is. In those senses, yes, wonderful things. And here's the thing, though. One of the themes that they've been writing on is also, club, be very, very scared of the climate. We need to fund the climate. The climate activists and the climate activities need to be funded. And we need your money. We need your money. And we also need to, here's another thing that they'll say, that we will say, I'll say, because I'm in the World Economic Forum. Sometimes I even forget my own role. We say things, we say grand general things at these meetings, and it's vague, and we prefer vague. We'll say things like tax the rich. Tax the rich, it's like, oh, what does that even mean? I don't even know what it means, but let's find a slogan that the majority of people can just be like, let's tax the rich. Let's tax the rich. I had to think about this. Seemingly on the surface, on the surface, the phrase doesn't sound too bad. You're like, tax the rich. You're like, okay, all right, we'll tax the rich, yeah. Who are the rich? Tax them. It's not me. It's not you. Tax them. What is that saying, though? I thought about it a little bit, just a wee bit. I thought about it. I'm like, what does that even mean, tax the rich? What is even rich? What's rich? What level of richness are we talking about? Are we talking about rich individuals? Are we talking about rich countries? Are we talking about rich entities? Are we talking about rich corporations? And what's the level of richness? What is the level of richness? Is it, because somebody might have $100 in their pocket and they may be like, I'm the richest guy in the world. I'm the richest gal in the world. They'll say that. Not many people, but some will say that, because you'll say it. A lot of people will say it if you're not looking for monetary means to satisfy your means of happiness or state of well-being over. But it does, not to say that money doesn't impact happiness, safety, security, all that jazz, but there's others that'll be like 10,000, I'm a happy man. 100,000, I'm a happy. 1 million, I'm a rich, happy man. 10 million, I'm a rich, happy dude. 100 million, I'm a rich, happy. 100 billion, I'm a rich, happy fella. What are we talking about, though? What level of richness? And what does it mean, though, when you say tax the rich? Because it just sounds too loose. It's like, it's one of those like broad, throw it out, let's jizz off a slogan. That's one of those like, right there, tax the rich. What does that even mean, though? What does that even mean? Tax the rich and, be very, very scared of the climate. Meanwhile, most of the attendees of these meetings are most likely landing in Davos in Switzerland on private jets. And their means of transport regularly is through private jets. And again, I've got no qualms with people riding private jets. I've got no qualms with people being rich. I love rich people. I love all sorts of people, rich people, poor people, middle class people. I don't really care for that aspect. I don't really look at a person's bank account or zeros or commas to be like, I like this person, I don't like this person. I genuinely didn't want to come out properly. Genuinely, fuck, dude. Right in the middle, like, genuinely, dude. Genuinely, I don't really care about that. That doesn't tell me whether you're a good person or a bad person, but yeah, it's the juxtapose of it. It's the contradiction. It's the hypocrisy, because like you have people who are filthy rich getting to destinations which require a lot of money, a lot of resources, using means of transport that regular folks don't have access to or what have you. And then they get there and they're all like, let's give back to the environment. And let's ride these private jets back and forth and like, do loop-de-loops around the world, jet set off to here, get paid $1 million just to host the event annually, and try to portray yourself as this. Essentially what I'm getting is what we like to, as a World Economic Forumists, what is my main goal? My main goal is to sell ideas that are never ending. And it can all fall under the umbrella of a utopia, because a utopia is never ending, really, if you think about it. And it's not even attainable. And it's psychotic. And we love a little bit of everything. So I'd like to be able to, I'd like to, as Klaus Schwab, as times get scarier and scarier in 2023, take my class and I will teach you all the ways to master the future. Say it with me. Master the future. We are mastering the future. Ooh. Just so comforting when you hear that, the word master said in that particular pronunciation. Reminds you of another fella who was really, into mastering the future. People, that's what it is. But that's, as a World Economic Forumist, as a four-arm indie, because I'm knee-deep in this shit, dog. Blood in, blood out, son. I've dedicated millions of dollars to attend this meeting. I'm basically the marriage between, I am basically the corporations and politics getting married. And this is like an annual honeymoon, if you're wondering what it is. An annual honeymoon of corporations and businesses getting together and deciding world policies, trying to go over jurisdictions, trying to really create a world where you're not bound by nation states, and you just you try to, again, we're trying to create a utopia. You like utopias. Utopias have never gone, utopias have always worked out. Look at all the historical attempts at utopias. Oh, what went wrong with utopias? Millions of people died in different parts of the world. Oh man, the communist movement, that was great under Mao and Stalin. Millions of people, died. We didn't get it right that time. And then Cuba didn't get it right that time either. North Korea didn't get it right that time either. But we are willing to, because this thing is never ending and it's vague, right? And every once in a while, 10, 20 years, you can flip it around, create a new, it might be the IMF 1 week or a year or 10 days or whatever. It might be, the Bilderberg Group, another decade, and we'll change these acronyms and we'll toss them in there, and then we'll get politicians, corporations, and some of your favorite actors who are actors who are lovely folks. For most of them are lovely people, talented in many ways, and they know things because they're actors and they look good and they talk well. and you just love looking at him. Man, God, oh my, like you just look at a fella giving a speech, and he's an actor, and you're like, and he's saying it to your face. He's like, I don't know anything about economics. I'm not an economist. I don't know what I'm doing up here. But I do have a nice speech that's vague enough, and that's you know, and all you know, that's what I does. That's as I did that. I got in there and I gave a speech. I'm due to give more speeches, as a matter of fact. I have no idea what is going on here, but I got paid. Maybe not so directly, but you know, down the line, should I get, you know, that's what it is. The business and the corporations marrying politicians, and politics and business coming together. You're like, this sounds totalitarian, a little bit. It's got a little bit of a fascist sentiment to it, because after all, what is fascism anyway? It's like trying to attempt to, you know, really bond corporations and big business with government, global government. But it's not quite fascism or anything like that. It's we've evolved. Things have changed. We are changing our ways. And this is a great thing you can get behind, because it's literally never ending. There's promotional room. You can get promoted. You can be giving a speech this year. Next thing you might be like the ring bearer, or the, you know, or the choir boy, or whatever. There's so many positions. And the beauty of it is, like, none of the funds are like really accounted for. We don't know who's funding it really. We know a few, you know, but you know, it's not like disclosed anywhere properly, and that people get in, they rub elbows. We get it. Oh my God, we host a bit like low key. We go to the Switzerland, Davos area region. We give a couple of speeches. Sometimes some of us engage in classic, you know what I'm talking about, a little rendezvous, a little bit of that shindig, a little bit of that after party circle jerk up in the mansion, popping champagne, pop poppity pop the champagne, baby, and much more. There's caviar and shit, I'm assuming, at one point. And then that's the thing, yeah, so if you have a cause, if you have a good, vague enough cause that's never ending, like if you're like, do I have a cause? I don't know. Do you have a war going on that you could just go and like, so this is not for everybody, all right? Get out of here with your like low-level, unscalable business ideas and plans. Come back to me when you got like a proper like war plan that'll like be like, give me something like to work with for like 10, 20 years. That'll get more people involved. Because we're like, man, you know, and that's what we did. As I was a part of it, big time part of it, big time World Economic Forumist right here. And I adore people who get in there, Mrs. Vilinska, because I think that's the female version in like Ukrainian language. Vilinska is God. Like, so that's a prime example of who could, like, ask yourself, did you overnight become the face of a war somehow, miraculously? You know what I'm talking about? Did you and your husband all of a sudden get placed in a position of extreme power overnight, literally? You know what I'm talking about? I don't even know what I'm doing, dude. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm just saying, is it? But that's the thing, and you can go there, and you can, like, yeah, it's hard to shame people out of like $1 or $20, like, because you see it on the streets. You know, you don't see too many people having much luck, like when you see people begging for money on the streets. Sure, maybe somebody will spare a nickel, a dime, a toonie, or you know, maybe a bill here and there, nothing bigger than a 10 on most occasions, if any. But if you come asking for a lot of dough, man, it's like, you know what I'm talking about, dude? We need a lot of dough. Like, that's the thing. Ask yourself before coming into this. Is like the big league Shark Tank. This is bigger than Shark Tank. This is like global economic taint. This is like, if you come at us asking for money, ask for big money. All right, get everybody else in debt. That's what the implications of your actions need to be drastic. Don't be coming in here with this like little things that, because we are facing very, very scary times. Be very scared. And the greatest thing about, like, ask yourself, how do I become part of the World Economic Forum? If you're the type of person out there who is not, we're not just looking for solution people. We're not just looking for people who can come up with solutions. Ideally, you're coming in there with a major problem. You are the problem. You are the, if you've caused it, we want you. Or if you're at least willing to be a part of the cause. And everybody's involvement's to different levels. Now, you don't need to be on the no of the thing. I don't even know what's going on, but there's levels to this shit. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. And this time, it's a new evolution of these meetings though, because before it was really like behind closed doors. Now it's going like, now we're like, we'll do it open doors, but on our terms. So like, you know, you want to come at us, it's very difficult. But at the same rate, the beauty of it today is that a lot of people are getting access to more and more information. People are talking, people are asking more questions. They're, you know, they're looking at things with a little bit of a more skeptical eye, if you will, and asking questions, rightly so. Because boy, oh boy, did we have a couple of years that were just weird out there. You know what I'm talking about? You still see the residue. Gosh, you see the residue. It's hard to get that residue out of them jeans. Out of them, you know, out of that, you know, whatever. You got some residue on whatever skirt, pants, socks. How did the residue get in the socks? I don't know, but you got some in there. It's difficult. It's much, you know, it's more difficult to get bodily fluids out of clothing items or, you know, spilt wine, red wine. I honestly don't know. Both are a headache. Nonetheless, what are we even talking about? Let me get a sip of this bad boy. The point is, I needed to go knee deep today. I needed to go knee deep in this shit, right? And you need to be very, very careful about your very, very important next steps. Every step you make, every step you take is very, very dangerous out there. Yes, be very careful. Essentially, what we're trying to do at the World Economic Forum is that we are trying to just make it very difficult for people to like exist without having to be like, we'd like more, you know, we'd like to implement more, you know, little by little, not so like not overtly, but like overtly. It's so overt sometimes that it's like, it's so overt, it's in your face that you're like, this can't be real. This Dr. Evil looking fella, aka Klaus Schwab, my hero, this isn't a real person. This is right out of a friggin' James Bond movie. But no, that's reality, man. That is reality, and it's a beautiful cast of members to be. It's really cool, man. And that's the thing. You say tax the rich. Of course, it's one of those things where you're like, yes. It's like, you know, it can mean anything. What does that even mean? To me, it sounds a little bit like a commie, a bunch of commies, a bunch of dirty red commies. Trying to just, but that's just my interpretation. I may be completely wrong about this, and I most of the time have no idea what I'm talking about. This sounds like communist propaganda, man. If you really thought about it, man, think about it, man. But it could also just be like, you know, it could be nothing. It could legit be nothing, because you don't want to give too much weight to anything. And not that we don't, because again, beautiful thing of the world is that, again, as I said previously, people have access to information, are asking questions constantly. So, you know, certain things might be like, you know, they might be like, oh, we're doing things, but at the end of the day, the power of the people together will fucking be like, nah, not on our watch, not on my, I don't even have a watch, but not when I'm watching, not when you're watching. There's something about, you know, it's all about optics. No, it's all about having a good watch, just so you can tell time, so you can attend meetings on time. The point is, we at the World Economic Forum want to make sure that, you know, because that's what it is. Over the past couple of years, we've had the beauty of it is that we've had a lot of rich people get even richer. Like, they're now more billionaires than ever, which is nuts. But also, like, I'm happy for people to be like killing it in life, because I'm not a fucking hater, bruh. At the same rate, you know, when people come and say, this is my thing, I'm not sure again like how I feel about it, but when I heard it initially and we're running with this shit, tax the rich. Again, it sounds too, if I've learned anything, if it sounds too good and if it sounds too easy, sometimes it is too good and it is too easy. Because like, what does that even mean when you say tax the rich? It's like kind of like a punishment for people who worked hard to get there. Not all people. Here's the thing, you know, it sounds like a way to de-incentivize, if that makes any sense. It's like, oh, you know, if you work hard, if you get rich, we're gonna have to tax you. And you're responsible. But that's the thing. I don't have a, or the vagueness of it, the vagueness of these events, the vagueness of phrases that they use, the jargon that they throw around, we throw around. I love it. That's the part that I like, because it can mean anything. It can mean anything. It could mean that, we got ours for the time being. A lot of our folks, a lot of our like-minded individuals who attend the WEF and similar events have got enough in the bank that we can be taxed. It's okay to be taxed. But what about the new up and coming shakers and movers of the earth? What are we saying about them? That's the thing, when you say some things that are vague enough that it could just be like a wide paintbrush just glossing over everything. To me, that sends a not so overt message of, we're gonna try to get equity in this bitch, try to make things equal for that. And I don't think giving other people's money to other people is the solution. I think one of our biggest problems is probably, again, but again, is it a problem or is it the solution? Or is the problem the solution? Because originally, what were we even talking about? The problem is when corporations and businesses get married to politics. And what do we say we do around here? We throw yearly honeymoons where we get together with politicians, big corporations, and try to, govern the globe. Yes, we've got big dreams. Dare I say we're a bunch of dreamers. We're a bunch of dreamers, and the dream that we like to sell is utopia. Utopia. We don't want you to own anything. We don't want you to be worried about owning anything. Somebody's gonna own it. I will own it. I will, as the head of I want to own it. All of it. All of it is mine. And I'll decide who can have things, and you can rent it out. You can rent. That's the thing. At the end of the day, if I could just get inside everybody's head mentally and just know your existence is essentially, you're just a cost and a burden to society, and if I could tax you on it, I'll tax you on it. You're breathing too much clean air. I'll have to tax you for that. You're a walking cesspool of disease. I'll have to watch where you're going and probably tax you for that at some point. You're getting, you just become too much of a burden. And if everybody could, pull their weight, if everybody could, take 4-minute showers, for example. Me, myself, I bathe in milk and raw milk because I'm different, to be honest, and I like everybody to be equal, but when it comes to me personally, I like to live in giant mansions, and I like to eat exotic food, and I like to take vacations a lot of times during the year using my private jet. And I like having staff. I love having staff, but like the rest of the people, if everybody could pull their weight, please and thank you, eat a little bit less meat, please and thank, so that I could have more meat. This is about me. This isn't about you. Don't say that part. This is about you. This isn't about me. This is completely about you. This is not about me. Man, this is so about me. They have no idea. Quit saying it out loud, dude. I need to be on the ball, on the money. This isn't about you. No, this is you've practiced this. This isn't about me. This is about you. There we go. Oh man, I'm so good at reading scripts. This is about you. This isn't about me. I need you to think about the wars, the many wars, but forget the many wars but focus on one, because it's so hard to focus on. There's so many going on, but one good one. If you just come up with one good one, man, we can slowly but surely pull in other countries and get them involved. Pressure shame them, and to get Germany, for example, you could be doing more. To be more like England and Canada. How many tanks, or not tanks, armored vehicles? I just read. I was a part of it because I am a part of it. 90 tanks, no, not tanks, armored vehicles. That's right. And hundreds of millions of dollars. We will just keep giving to the Ukraine, because you know what ends wars? More wars. Yeah. And if you don't want to stop the war by creating more wars, there's something wrong up in your brain, mister. You need to just check yourself before you go out today. But as a World Economic Forumist for Nomic, I'd like to ask you for more money, for billions of dollars. And just again, if I could just make sure that you are completely beware of things that we are trying to do, because like what's and we look at the common man, we look at the common woman out there, and we're like, what's on everybody's mind? And the common man and woman, any day of the week, any time of the year, ask them what's the number one concern on your mind. They're like gender issues. And we here at the World Economic Forum, although you didn't say it, so we heard you speak gender, equality and equity, and climate, and also never-ending war. If we could get the potentially more, oh man, if we could just like crumble more economies and devastate really more economies, so that, because sometimes you need to just go heavily in debt until everybody's like, we said we're gonna go knee deep in this shit, until everybody's like knee deep in this shit, like, and all of a sudden you close your eyes and blink and open them up and it's like 2025. I'm like, oh my god, look at all this beautiful like European countries that are now collectively taking part in war, more war. And because before you have rainbows, you must get the rain, and we have to make it rain. You're like, isn't there any other way of making it rain? Yes, of course. But we don't want to, like, we're not going to do anything artificial up in this bitch. This is a natural, as more people come to their senses, as more people wake up, as more people decide to give more funding and more money towards war, we will all be better off for it. And at the end of the day, once everybody's depleted enough and everybody's broken enough, broke but not broken, remember, when everyone's broke but not broken enough, that's when you can redesign, redesign, I don't even know what I'm doing with my hands. Redesign, reset. We can reset together as a global communist, a bunch of global commies. And together we can take pride and joy in knowing that no one out there has a chance to do better. That's right, no one out there. So you can take solace in knowing that not only are you going to be doing poorly for the rest of your life, but look out there. Remember when you looked out there and there was like a little glimmer of like hope, and you're like, man, maybe if I worked hard, I could achieve something. No, because we're going to tax the rich. So if you thought about it, if you're thinking about getting rich and you're already not rich, this is what I'm talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about. You want to join something that doesn't belong to you. Daring to dream out here and trying to get with if you already got a lot of money, it's okay. Like if you already got like millions and millions and a couple of mansions, yeah, and that's fine, because we could tax you, that's fine. And the rich. But like new coming up, that's what it is. If anything, like and taxes, that's one, like, oh, I love taxes. As a World Economic Forumist myself, I'm a big advocate of taxes, big and small, really, because like taxes is also vague. That's something I like, and I could use that, because you give me your tax money and I could tax it, and I could like spend a little bit of it on whatever I said I'm gonna spend it on. Like, let's say I'll build a couple of huts. You know what I'm talking about? But I'll keep most of the monies, because you don't need it. Why would you need money? Why would anybody need money? Why would anybody dare dream of having a good life when you can just take solace in knowing, don't try. Why are you trying out there? So my hope is to, within the next 5 to 10 years, globally kill dreams, essentially. But again, these are, I forget which parts I'm supposed to say out loud, really, or just keep to myself. I was given a script. I'm not, I'll tell you this much, man. It wasn't a movie. It wasn't like a movie script that I could like completely get into. That's why a little bit of it, I'm just like, I'll go off script, try to improvise a little bit, see if the guys like it. But the point is that I'm a big time World Economic Forumist. And this is, I think, yes, have we been losing a little bit of traction? Are people waking up, noticing a little bit like, oh yeah, it seems like a big ol', just a bunch of people that like, talk a lot of talk but don't do much at all, and it just seems like a little bit elitist. And yeah, a little bit, we are a little bit elitist because we're better than you. Don't you, like, that's, if you just got it through your head that we're better than you, that, I don't want you coming up in this space. This is our space. I don't want you going anywhere where, like, learn to live within your means, okay? Quit wanting to be like, I want to get up and go to this, I can get up and go to this place and that place. You have a small little radius and be happy with that little radius, because before you know it, hopefully, as soon as the tech gets, as soon as we can like plug you in, like really plug you in, I will literally just be like, you're selfish if you're leaving your cell and you're not like willing to get like a little tube just feeding you mush just to keep you sustained, so that you can just have enough brain power to like create money by I don't know, going through online ads or something with your mind, or I don't know, maybe playing Pong against a chipped monkey, and then people can watch you play just fucking like dosed out and just put like power from the brain, and you're like ponging it half in and out of life, ponging it versus a chip monkey, and people can watch you. You can stream that and people can watch you online, and we can like bet on who's gonna be the better Pong player. The bipedal chimp that's coming into the, surpassing the Stone Age, going into like using tools, better tools, maybe reading, writing, and then you're reversing. The smarter the chimps get, hopefully we can learn to weaken you, the general public that is. But man, you guys are out there doing your thing too. Don't think that we're not watching. Don't think that we're not watching. You watching, me watching us. We're watching together. We're watching. Everybody's watching together. That's the beauty of it. That's what I want to do in the World Economic Forum, and that's basically what I got out of it. As I joined in, I noticed that again, I need to hold myself in higher regard, and just like, here's the thing. I had an instant where like, reporters would come and want to like speak with us, and I'd be like, nah, you can't get in. And it felt good because like I had power and they didn't. And like, not many places where I like in life in general, the type of person that I am, I'm like, I really like power, but I don't like actually have any. So I like pretend to get with other people who don't really have any power, or like really are like into wielding power, or like others. And we get together for like, it's like a week or like a couple of weeks, and we just have like a little bit of like think about it as a elite power trip. Okay, think of it as that's all it is. There's literally nothing else. Bunch of geezers, old. It's just a bunch of legit. Like I got into it like low key. I thought they'd be like a bunch of losers, just like, and they are, and but that's what I wanted to join. Okay, low key, I wanted to join. I'm like, what's it all about? Okay, what is it all about? Nothing. But at the same rate, it is good to have meetings, annually elite meetings. So how do you get here? Take your private yacht, please. Do not, if you see any regulars following you, lose them. Speed up if you happen to run over them. You're elite if you've got like if you're like a diplomat with a diplomat's plate, and we're trying to move past local and governments and overall jurisdiction. We're trying to go above and beyond borders, really. This is again, think of it as a global utopia that then again, you're like, this has gone sideways so many, not this time, and not this organization, and many organizations before it have come and gone as well, and many have tried, but like not this time, and yes, are you, and look at all the beautiful things that are you walking, or are you like looking at your, are you just like, are you enjoying your day, and like maybe yourself or somebody else is just like randomly dying in the middle of like, that's what we do around here. Like people are dropping randomly, people like, so you're like, what do you do more or less, do you see like what could it be? People will be like, oh, this news anchor, she's tweaking on air, what's going on? She seems relatively, oh, this athlete, they're tweaking, what's happening? Many of things. Could it be, I ask you, could it be a lack of sleep? Could it be climate? Could it be, and there were a bunch of other reporters outside, sometimes more or less outside, inside, and they're like, man, is there anything that you've done differently over the past 2-3 years that the population start to introduce something new into their body politics, into their bodies? That's, because like athletes, regular people, 30s, 40s, 50s, drop in. So that's, not so directly, but like indirect. So that's the globe, because globally we like to dictate policies in regards to health, climate, energy, and we like to tax you for it essentially. That's so if you can like, and you don't need to like, you don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. Because like regular people, you're too busy. Like I don't want you to worry about it. I don't want you to like think about it. We'll think about it. Because we're basically like a traveling think tank. Think about it this way: we get together, we influence each other. We rub elbows, give each other maybe a couple of hand jobs there, a couple of blowies here, a couple of just a good old classic spit and shine as we used to call it. But that's just what it is, man. We keep it tight around here. And as a global leader, if you're a global leader out there, if you're like, how do I get involved? If you're in politics, allow us to penetrate you. We love Klaus Schwab. He loves penetrating young leaders out there, like Vladimir Putin, like Vladimir Zelensky. And you're like, Vladimir Putin, a young global leader. I read it somewhere, and it said young. I'm like, global, yes. Leader, yes. Young, bit of a stretch. All right, old man, but still. Justin Trudeau, penetrated. And you too could be penetrated. Do you like penetration? Ask yourself. And basically, what is it? You don't need to do much. You really do, as long as, again, if you're into politics, you could be penetrated. If you have lots of money, you'd like to be a part of the penetration, we will take you, we will penetrate you, we will let you penetrate. And there's different packages and levels. There's silver penetration, gold penetration, platinum penetration, double black penetration. You know what I'm talking about? But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, this is not about double penetration. This is more or less about you and I just coming together, having a ball, because it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, and there's an annual meeting going on, and it will be, and again, you can't attend it. I will attend it for you. I will tell you I'll tell you what's going on as far as the things that I'd like to share with you. Everything else is like, what are you doing here? There's a special room for reporters where they can ask questions. If they ask the right questions, you may remain in the facilities, ask the wrong questions, and I decide what is the right question or wrong. If you happen to say the wrong question, there is a trap door that will immediately open and you will fall. And there is sharks, there's fire, there is lasers, stray cats, rabid wolves. We've been experimenting with growing our own humans, half animals. Not so much like that's the thing. It's coming into fruition hopefully, and we'll set you downstairs. It'll think of the upside down and Stranger Things. But and should you ask the wrong questions? Should you ask the right questions? Like, what are you doing with gender equality? So that I could come back and be like, I love gender equality, big genderist right here. Big gender. What was that beautiful gentleman have to say over there with the questions? What do you intend to do about the climates? Set realistic goals. Next. We keep it vague around here. You start asking questions like, what are you doing with what's all the funding from pharmaceuticals or big oil, or whatever else big corporations out there, or like the military industrial complex, like getting in there. Like, if you are asking these types of questions, platforms will be opening. Tigers, lions, bears, very, very scary times. And I will also alligators, fucking alligators will chomp on your ass right there. Will just chomp on your. You're gonna be, if you start getting smart up in this bitch, you're gonna be teabagging a couple of fucking alligators. Think about that picture. Do you like teabagging alligators? I don't think so, unless you do, because we facilitate that if you do. So that's what we think of open journalism and just transparency, really. If you are a Hollywood actor, if you don't know much about anything, and if you like to keep it that way and hopefully do more in your career by rubbing elbows with more influential people who like to be penetrated and like to give penetration, come join our cause. We could use more of you. Certainly can, really. And our thing is like, don't think like you got to fit into a category. The more diverse, the better. If you could be all of diversity in one being, and we've yet to come full diverse. We're working on it. Right now we've got like it's level by level. Like right now, this is not to do with us or anything, but on the global scene of things unraveling, like you'll see a man owning the Miss Universe contest, and we're proud of that. And that's what it is, baby. And former man, current man, like man, transgender man, and owning the International Miss Universe contest, which is essentially for ladies. And we liked it that way up until now. You know, ladies with vaginas and tits, classic ladies. God. But now it's open for all ladies. Yeah. Not the old ladies, new ladies. You're like, they're not fully biological ladies, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But that's a level of full diverse. So if you can come in black Muslim, black Asian Muslim, Jewish Muslim, half black, half Asian, half Muslim, half Jewish, full trans, half trans, and you're willing to be a part of this, and if you have a war going on, God, if you're like half Asian, half black, half Muslim, half Jewish, half transitioned, and you've got a war going on, we're looking for you essentially. We've tried to create it, but and if you can and if you can be obese, if you could just be giant, and if we can put you in the tiniest bikini so that you could freely flaunt everything in everyone's face, that'll be the day that we know we've really breached the surface of global utopian nightmare for all. Fucking fun times for some. You know what I'm talking about, boys and girls. So please, glad you made it. It's been another social production. Where can you find these beautiful, wonderful videos? If you happen to enjoy them, I hope you do. You can find them every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Instagram, on YouTube, and on patreon.com/RobSadri. Now remember, things might be good in your life, but it's always very, very scary out there. Ooh, scary.